Hello everybody, Storm here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online. In our last episode, we continued working on some of these side quests in the area of Summerford Farms. And then we got to work on a main story quest where apparently there's been some abductions happening around Limsa Lominsa, and there were some suspicious characters hanging out around the farms. And so, Stalewern, decided to send us to investigate. We ended up going into a cave, finding something odd there, and then we ended up getting attacked by an enraged Gubu, and meeting one of the new major characters in the game, Y'shtola. We fought the Gubu, defeated it and all of its buddies, and determined that someone had purposely sent it after us. So we're kind of interested in what might be happening there. But meantime, we're still over here helping out in Summerford Farms. Stalewern has a quest that we've been working on, Washed Up, which he's looking for several of his crew that are nowhere to be found. So we need to go track them down. I also went ahead in between episodes and cleaned up that quest about the mists, which has to do with the player housing function. So that's unlocked for me now. No big deal there. This character is no way, shape, or form able to buy a house. Alright, so let's go ahead and get back on with it. And I noticed over here that there is another quest that is part of the main storyline. So, let's go ahead and talk to Gersant here. Gersant is eyeing fertile new fields for Summerford Farms, but pests perturb his plows. Blast. How's a botanist supposed to accomplish field work without a field to work in? Washed up pirates are well and good when you want a field pillaged and plundered, but not when you need it plowed. A lone horticulturalist such as myself hardly strikes fear in the hearts of monsters, but your gait is such that I might believe you might. I'd be much obliged if you could rid the field of some mandragoras. With 5 fewer of the sprouting critters roaming about, I'm sure I can return to my work. The good old, squash 5 enemies quest. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's look around for these guys who are nowhere to be found. Oh, there you are. Water. Work? Ha! Can't work when my hands are full lifting this mug. You know, I'd wager my last skill you'd never guess what I'm drinking. Swill water, swill wine. I would say swill wine. Well, you're right about the swill part. I reckon it might be worth a day of doing Stalewern's chores if it'll afford me a taste of proper grog. Alright, let's see what we got next. Should be somewhere in this area. This is the hunt down the guy with the symbol over his head quest. And it often is not anywhere near the center of the circle. That's one thing you'll quickly find out. Let's see. Anybody in here? Nope. Well, probably outside the walls. Oh, there's a tiny mandragoras we need to kill. Alright, yep, there you are. Sozai Rarzai. Oh, how am I supposed to work on an empty stomach? Go on, have a guess at what I had for breakfast. Breaded sticks. Ash tuna? Breaded sticks? What gods? How'd you know? It's my breath, ain't it? It probably smells as wooden as the food tasted, but I know why you're here. I'd just as soon get some real food in me, but I ain't want to reject a summons from the captain. Alright, so, tiny mandragoras. Might as well take care of this business. Oh, probably shouldn't steak there. Gotta knock out 5 of these little buggers. Go berserk. Two more. Alright, that's done. Piece of cake. Alright, let's keep tracking down these missing workers. And where, oh where might you be? There you are. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Axes were made for splitting skulls, not stumps. You know what I did in my sailing days? Skirmishing? You bet your bosom I did, lass. Aye, those were the days. I reckon now I'll have to be satisfied taking my axe to the trees. Yep. Get back to work. Alright, we got one more. And it looks like they're up here. There's a fate in the area? Let's just go take a look. During the calamity, many bands of pirates lost their ships to Italian attackers in the flames of Bahamut. Those found new crews to join, but those who didn't simply turn the banditry on land, use your blades to convince the lads. It's high time they seek new employment. Yeah, this shouldn't be too tough. Just basically knock these guys down. Never a bad idea to hop into a fate when one pops up. As long as it looks like you're gonna get it, you can get it done. There we go. Alright, we learned overpower. Let's see. Bring this over here. Let's see. Delivers an attack with a potency of 130 to all enemies in a cone before you. Okay. So it's an AoE attack. So I guess like this. Useful later on for gathering up larger groups of enemies. Alright. Aylmer. So Stalwern sent you, and what do you reckon I say to that? Workers for the weak and witless. I have saucier seeds to sow. I guess that one. Damn right. Didn't get where I am by taking guff from any glorified gardeners. But suppose I could see what he wants to get him off my back. Alright, so now we can go ahead and turn that in. We could teleport back. Oh, we have one more. Never mind. But teleporting all over the place can tend to get expensive. Alright, Severin. Hi, I'm Severin. You the old man's errand girl now? Tell my dear old captain not to wet his britches. I'll be along. Oh, and just so we're clear, I don't care for landlubbers. Go find the chocobo you rode in on and ride on out. A pleasant lot. Unfortunately, I didn't ride in on a chocobo. Can't do that yet. Alright, get these quests turned in and see what else we have to do. Alright, Stalewern. Oh, we're level 10. I probably need to go check and see if we have another quest from the Marauders Guild. You continue to impress, lass, but all but Severin are accounted for. It's no fault of yours he squirmed out. I've let that worm wriggle through my fingers more times than I can count. Rest assured, next time I see him, I'll put him squarely in the dirt, where all such worms belong. Alright, let's go ahead and turn in this one. How about that? You've already done more than that whole lot of slothful sea slugs combined. If only they spent half as much time proving their worth as they do talking about it. Okay. Alright, what do I have for us to do next? Ooh, some gear. Bronze Labrys. Ooh, new weapon. Okay. Stalewern worries his sack of origins will not reach the Thagrin checkpoint as planned. Pains me to say, but all the guild in the world can't buy a loyalty. There are some, like you, who can be trusted, but then there are others. Until now, I've had no choice but to rely on that charlatan Severin, even though I'm full aware he's been doing shady deals behind my back. More than once I've heard tell of improper trading with goblins. I wouldn't be the least surprised if that were happening right now. Not a bell ago, a sack of oranges vanished, as did Severin. I want you to find and confront the bastard for me, Atsurugi. I'm sure there's wrongdoing afoot, so be sure to doubt anything that comes out of his mouth. Okay. So we're going to need to use some emotes. Alright. Don't need it just yet. Oh, Chocobo Keep. Well met, traveler. Might I interest you in a Chocobo Porter? Do not tell me this is your first time to this stop. I shall update my register with your name so that you may access the location in the future. No. Okay, so Chocobo Porters allow you basically to hire a rented Chocobo to ride you between specific points. Alright. There's a quest out there. Not that worried about it at the moment. Because they are a bit ahead of the game at the moment. Because of some of the experience bonuses that I actually have. Another fate. Killing tiny mandragores. I'm not actually going to worry about it right now. There's nobody else there. So I'm like to get swarmed. Alright, where exactly are we? Confront Severin and cast doubt on his actions. So I could type it, or I could use the emote list. Which doubt is going to be there. What's this now? Staleworn sent you out for the oranges? Huh. So the old bugger had known all this time. What does it matter anyway? Listen, you're one of those goody-goody adventure types, right? Go rescue me mates from those double-dealing goblins. They're just over yonder by the bonfire. Save Severn's henchmen. Those guys, I'm guessing. Oh. 3 of the ones I had to go, kicking in gear. Anybody else? Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's get these guys up. I owe you one. Would have gotten away myself if not for Severn shoving me aside. If you hadn't come, my dodo would have been cooked. Cooked dodo. Severn sent you? Huh, the way he flew out of here, I was sure he sold us down the river. Alright, so speak with Severn. You saved me, mates, and for that I owe you. Suppose I should be ashamed I couldn't clean up my own mess. But a pirate knows no shame. I have no qualms about going back on my word. I'm only giving you this sack because I like the cut of your jib. Take it to Ossine and send him my regards. Alright, I guess I'll grab the sack of oranges. And deliver the sack of origins to Ossine at Lethangren checkpoint. Which is right there. Alright, what have we here? A delivery from Summerford Farms, and as scheduled? Huh, it's the first time for everything. Alright, hand it over. Well, look at that, not a single one missing either. About the only things not here are those bagmen, and I don't miss them one bit. Here's Staleworn's payment in full with you. I can trust it'll reach him. Alright, report to Staleworn at Summerford Farms. And I'm just going to hoof it back because I don't feel like spending the money to teleport. But I'll go ahead and just pause the recording while we head on over. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, back at Summerford Farms. Alright, let's go ahead and report. Back in one piece. It's a relief. How did you fare, Yatsurugi? Alright, we got a sack of gil we're going to hand over. Ah, this is what I was aiming for. It looks to be all I was owed, alright? Though I'd be telling you false if I claimed I had not held out more hope for Severn. I was even willing to overlook the skimming off the top, but to sell us all short in favor of those god's-forsaken goblins. You do well to mind yourself around that 2-gil cheat. If he'd leave his own mates for dead, there's no telling what he'd do to you. Alright, so I guess we're going to take the bronze Labrys. And we're going to go ahead and... Oh, we have... No, it's saying those are... Other wristbands. No. Let's see, critical hit. That copper ring definitely is going to be better. Now that recommended gear doesn't always do the best thing. I mean, it tries, but not always quite right. Alright, so we now have our brand new bronze armbrust there. Double-bladed great axe. Very nice. Alright, and now Gersant has another quest for us. And what's he going to give us? Some new gloves. Yeah, sounds good. Gersant seeks fertile soil to improve the yields of his newly plowed fields. Accept. Blast. At this rate, the crops will never be ready for harvest. If only we had black loam. Just a bit could send our stalks soaring. I bet Rotweeda knows where you might find some. Perhaps you might pay her a visit in the orchard. Okay. Now we have some more kind of odds and ends quests kicking around. They might give us stuff. Might as well talk to him. Kenhar. He's gonna give us a leather belt. Ooh. Yes. A pound of cure. High potions are in short supply at Tiller's Rest, and Canmar hopes to remedy that. If you're headed to Tiller's Rest, I have a favor to ask you. The pirates have been away from sea for too long, and their broken hearts turn to bloodshed for solace. A full supply of medicine lasts barely a week. If you could buy a high potion and take it up to Wiedelof, you may well save some lives. That's how I pronounce that name. We have a high potion. Apparently. We do in fact have a high potion. So we can complete that quest. Alright, Rotweeda. Let's see if you have that black loam. That Gersant's got a head of cabbage if he thinks I'm fetching him any black loam. But if you dare to pinch some from the cook pot, then be my guest. Just mind you don't get trampled upon by the aurochs that dwell there. Once you've 3 bushels worth, take the black loam to Freewall at Tiller's Rest. He'll know what to do. Tiller's Rest is up there. There's the cook pot. I should probably check and see what that quest is all about. You know, even though we may not necessarily need some of these quests for EXP, they hand out gear, so let's just go ahead and turn this in. Wiedelof. I'm plump out of potions. Any sorry suffer knocking on my door may as well be knocking on Thal's. All I can offer him is a prayer. Well, here's some high potion. Were I a God-fearing man, I'd say you were heaven sent. After the dust settles from the next pirate brawl, some sorry soul will owe you his lousy life. I pity the poor fish out of water. At first I thought the fights were just to kill time, but now I believe some truly have a death wish. There's nothing that can be done about that. We can't make them want to live. All we can do is hope they learn to love the land. Alright, I guess we'll be taking said leather belt. We don't actually have a belt, so there we go. Obtain the black loam in the cookpot. which should be over this way. Grounded Raiders. Level 9. Level 9 and hostile. I want to stay away from those guys. Wounded Aurochs. These guys are a hunt log target. Well, we need to fight past them anyway. So 2 birds, 1 stone. Alright, we need to knock out 3 of them for the hunt log. Out of that. Alright. We're probably just gonna knock all these guys out. Hello. Don't want to get in their AoE. Pick up this dirt. We gotta respawn. Alright. That means the others are gonna be coming back relatively quickly. So we wanna work our way out of here. Alright, so we need to head back to Tiller's Rest and talk to Freywall. There he is. Alright, even the weeds wither and die in this desolate dirt. Alright, hand it over. But a bit of this black loam ought to change all that. I haven't seen any in ages. I think black loam's not for the weak of will nor the weak of stomach, eh? Don't tell me Gersint and Rotweeda neglected to mention where black loam comes from. Well, surely you figured it all out on your own from the cloying stench. It comes from the Aurochs' lair of all places. Well, why dwell on who misled whom about what? What matters is that your efforts have brought us the black loam, and we can expect a bountiful harvest as a result. Thank you. Oh, it's Aurochs droppings. Well. Alright, new gloves. Let's see, better defense, better magic defense. Yep, there we go. And they're blue. Or purplish. Alright. So, what do you have for us next? Freywall needs stolen farm tools recovered. And you're going to give us pants. Well, it's about time we got someone who's giving us a quest for pants. Confounded pirates, they know nothing of tillin', only killin', stealing our shovels to melt and forge into axes of all things. They're biting the hand that feeds them, the mangy mongrels. I'd love to teach those curs a lesson in obedience myself if I hadn't sworn to Stalewern that I wouldn't fight no more. So I need you to bring back our farm tools and make sure those dogs reap what they've sown. Alright. Oh. From the pirates. It must be those pirates. Those level 9 raiders. Right. Okay. Well, I have no ranged attack yet. So, this is going to be interesting. Let's see. Can I sneak up? Ah. Hey, you, over here. See, that overpower has a little bit of range to it. So, oh, you found me. Ooh. I don't think so. Pirate Captain Peter Pigeontoe. Don't want to mess with that guy. So, you here. Let's see. So look at the numbers down here. When they're red, it means they're out of range. So now he's in range because now they lit up. So now I can hit him. Now, in case you're wondering about these AoE mechanics, so just wait for him to use it. Come on. No, actually he's not. He's wearing a sword and shield. Is that when you see the indicator, you just have to move out of it until the indicator disappears, which means they've completed casting, and then you can move back in where you were. Because it determines whether or not the ability actually hit you when the casting of the ability completes, not when the animation actually plays. A little bit of a trick to learn about avoiding AoE in this game. Alright, Freywall. I wonder what those sea dogs will try and steal when there's no harvest. Alright, here's the farm tools. Ah, good to see the tools back in a serviceable condition, which will be more than we can say of Severn when we get our hands on him. The wretch likely had a role in the theft. Spied him meeting the pirates in secret, I did. I couldn't care less. The wastrel won't work, but when it consorts with the cut purses that take our tools away, he's crossed the line. Staleward ought to know what sort of scallywag he's dealing with. Take word to him, would you? Report to Staleward. Alright. So, gonna head back to Staleward, turn this in. So, pause recording. Be back at Summerford Farms in a moment. Okay, back at Summerford Farms, and here is Staleward. Hello. Alright, pirates making off with our tools. Freywall did well not to take matters into his own hands. Last thing I need is blood on my crops. But I'll be damned if Severn thinks he can take us for fools. His treachery won't go unpunished. Alright, so now we have Hempen Keks. Those are the ones we want, right? Disciples of War. These have intelligence and mind. These have strength and dex. Yeah, those are the ones we want. Let's go ahead and swap out for the Hempen Keks. And those are very blue as well. Alright, well, we are at the end of the episode, so we'll go ahead and call it here. We'll start working on the next quest when we get back. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time. Oh. Alright, yeah, what I ask of you now goes... Okay, hold on, I'm going to decline on that. There we go. Okay. See you next time.